and they mock at us, poor, wretched Africans. They are there plundering our wealth. We are not talking. We are not protesting. We look at the media war. It has not started. I think they are practicing to unleash the media war when it comes to British royalty. We talk to what we know. We talk about what we know. Theirs is theirs. Ours is ours. Keep yours, give us ours, and let's go. You can't keep yours and then you take ours and add to the one you have. And you put a leash on the black people. And you make mockery of the people you put on leash. You remember Prince Charles, now King Charles, when he told you the Commonwealth is a thing of the past. Those that want to remain will remain. Those that want to live should live. Then you go back to the activities of the past, what they did in the past. Authorities are questioning. Media authorities are questioning. Are they worth celebrating for? For the fact that it involves death, let's honor the dead. Then honor the dead. The issue still remains. Is it a warning shot that King Charles just gave before the death of his mother, that the Commonwealth should be done away with. That's a step in the right direction. Commonwealth. Whose wealth? Why is it common? The owners of the wealth don't enjoy it. When we say something, it's never well with them. We will be bringing you the response of these news medias. They have never brought up the evil of Britain. And they too fought for their independence from Britain. And where did I start the broadcast? From the Caribbeans, West Indies. They are crying out. We need to be compensated for slavery. And you see all the documentaries coming up from Ghana and Nigeria, Lagos area, the point of no return, Badagry. And we are mentally deluged, fantasized by Britain. We were so brainwashed that we cannot take a stand and call evil evil. 8 years after amalgamation, the Fulanese, through the help of Britain, is still holding the rest hostage. And it became so complicated that we cannot separate, because politically they have put us, in a hostage environment under the barrel of the gun. Somebody said something, and I kind of, yesterday, one of my callers said something, and he said the truth. You made something, you say that's Buhari. But Queen, you cannot robotize. It is only Nigeria. History will tell. The people that are killing us are our own people. I give you 3 critical issues. Our leader, Mazi Nnamdi, being a British citizen, they wash your brain that you're a British citizen and you cannot tackle your issues. By offering you carrots, you owe allegiance to them. Everything Britain does, is very good. They issue citizenship, and it's a paper. It's a piece of paper. But they are tying you. They are taking your resources. We are not free. And then the Caribbeans, the West Indies people, the Jamaicans, name them, all of them, bundled to different places by Britain. And then I made a reference to the courage of the monarch. I made a reference to that. See the drawings on there. Anyway, I won't go too deep. Today, Citizen Ayo will be with me, so we'll let him in, and we'll continue from there.
Yeah, I wanted to just join in and say good afternoon to my Biafran brothers. Good afternoon, Mazi Alozie. Good afternoon to we are joining with Ipob Rapture. My brother does my brother Mazi Alozie, Dr. Mazi Alozie, he does a broadcast every Monday. And regardless of what is going on now, and I don't want us to focus on that. Yeah, we need to continue on our effort to go for for Yoruba nation, Biafra nation. That is our goal. Self-determination is the goal, nothing else. Peter Obi will never give us any independence. Ashiwaju will never give us any independence. Atiku is going to, he will lock the key and throw it away. We need to break free. So good afternoon to you, my brother. And I'm glad to be on the show as ever. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Citizen AY. We are live with Dr. Mazi Alozie on Ipob Rapture and Citizen AY, having a discussion about the need for Biafrans, Yorubas, and Middle Belt to go for self-determination and not to fall for the lie of Peter Obi. Peter Obi is not your savior. I say it. Yes, I said it. Peter Obi is not your savior, and Achiwaju will never be your savior. Atiku is the man sent to enslave you forever. The person that INEC will choose at the end. You've seen all what they're doing. INEC has been there massaging and fixing the numbers. Good afternoon, Olufemi Oshikoya. And my brother, Taiwo Gujobi, yes, sir. So good afternoon to you. This is being shared on YouTube at the minute. Facebook has got a problem, so we're watching it live with my brother Mazi Alozie. So let me stop there. So if you wanted to, please go ahead, my brother. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Citizen Ayo, and welcome to all our listeners from Odudua. We welcome you, those from the Middle Belt. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us today through the Rapture Media. And it's a very good, very good experience. Thank you for, excuse me. Thank you for bringing this up. Prior to your coming, I was saying something about the royal family's colonization policy, and that's behind our problem. The people of West Indies, they are talking about getting their republic, and which I said we got ours 1963.
Yes.
3 years after independence. What's the difference? No difference. No difference.
There's no difference. So.
No difference. And then, excuse me, I had to explain. And then you are looking at our problems and the uprising from international media. Individual, college professors and well-thinking journalists, they have started questioning the existence of that monarch issue. And there was something I read from Sarah, an American candidate, senatorial candidate.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had it.
No. Please do tell me. Just go over it again.
I will read it again. Because when I read it, that will make people, those that didn't hear it, at least listen and hear what we are saying. Because when we say these things, they think we are playing. They don't understand that what we are going through is a sort of landmine. Let me read it.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
Sarah said that November the 8th, she'll be running for election. I don't know what the government of US is flying flags at half-mast to honor the late Queen of England. Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving monarch in the UK, died last Thursday at the age of 96. However, Sarah has taken exception to the flying of the flag at half-mast in the US to honor her, describing late monarch as an advocate of genocide. She said, yes, she said on her official Twitter handle on Friday, why are we Americans who had a revolution against the British Empire flying flags at half-mast in memory of one of the great genocidalists of all time? This is what she said. And I was, yes. If she can take that up and you line it up with our Ujuanya statement, the media, the social media handlers deleted her comment saying it's not good of a good test. But Sarah made her own. You see, I'm telling her people, we are being leashed. You know, the leash is too tight on our neck. We need to break it up.
Yeah.
And then another one is the point of no return, the gate of no return in Badagry and Ghana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this lady engaged in the worst slave trading activities the world has never been. She engaged in it.
Indeed.
And they used the church. They used the church to carry it out
as a weapon. Yes,
they used it. Yes, they used it to carry it out. And during the war, 1960, they planned a coup. It was Britain that planned it. 67, the whole thing exploded. If we are Christians, if the Yorubas and the Igbos and the Middle Belt were brainwashed with Christianity,
yes, indeed.
And supposedly Britain is Anglican, which I used to belong. I don't go there. I don't go to church anymore.
No.
After coming here and seeing what I saw, I simply jumped out. Why are you supplying guns and bombs to the Muslims to kill the Christians, which you are spearheading? And do you know what? To our listeners, they had a goat for St. Charles.
Yes. I shared the picture on Citizen Wire.
Okay.
I shared it because it is you know that exact. And if we were to do that, they would say that we are doing voodoo. By the way, let me just on that thing of where they're saying that we're doing voodoo. Voodoo simply means spirit. So when they say Holy Spirit, it's like saying holy voodoo. There's no difference. So there is no difference. But what they try to use is to say, oh, we're doing voodoo, to try and even bastardize and make everything about us bad. So you are absolutely right that everything has been used to oppress and suppress us. Many people may not know this. There was a ship called Jesus of Lube during the slave trade. People were put on that ship. Those who were enslaved were put on that ship called the Jesus of Lubeck. Go and type it up. Lubec. And people, as they got on the ship, there was a pastor who was saying they were blessing them, which was a lie. They were trying not to close them in, and as they closed their eyes, they sent them down to the dungeons to be shipped across the oceans. So there are so many things that people. So we have to be careful of what we are celebrating here. Fine, if you want to celebrate. If you don't know your history, I suggest you go and research that history. And another thing I want to say about our history, about this period of slavery that they try to hide from all of us. We need to be very, very careful, because some people have been commenting and saying, oh, we sold ourselves into slavery. Please, let us be very, very clear about this. When you are given no other option, when the people who came for your land, they took your own people. And when the king said, no, we're not going to trade with you, they took the land and they took the people. It is very clear. We must be very clear. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying here. Many people are saying that many of our African leaders sold our people into slavery. Jaja of Opopo fought against it. Jaja, you remember, I'm sure my brother, do you know Jaja of Opopo, right?
King Jaja of Opopo.
Yes, King Jaja of Opopo. Now, he was enslaved himself. He freed himself. He became a businessman. And he started closing all of the areas where the British were trying to enslave and take his trade. So when they realized that he was powerful, you know what they did? They tricked him. They said, oh, okay, we want to come and discuss on a boat. When he got on the boat, he was taken to the Caribbean. Now, when he was in the Caribbean, he was fighting and was causing mayhem to stop the slave trade, even when he was in the Caribbean. So they decided to bring him back home. On the way back, they gave him a cup of tea. He was poisoned on the ship. The reason I'm saying this to everybody, and we need to be aware, when somebody comes and starts telling you that, oh, we sold our slaves themselves into slavery. Some people had no other choice than they did, but some fought till the end. There is a lady in Nzinga, Queen Nzinga, I think it's, what's the name of this place now? Kenya. Oh, will come to me. I think not Kenya, I think it's in Zinga of the Congo. I think it's in Congo area. Okay. Now she fought. Because they came in and they tried to send our people, and she fought against them, and she chased them away. On the only way time they could come back in there was after she died. So please, it is important that we do not allow those who imprisoned us to be telling you a narrative to oppress and suppress you and make you hate yourself. You need to wake up. These are the realities of what we are faced with. There is so many, you see this idea, and the people at this point, when you talked about the issue of the supplying of guns to the Muslims to kill the Christians, we have to understand that those who are supplying those weapons, they don't care whether you're Christian or Muslim. What they want is to sufficiently control the people in that land. If it means for them to fight each other so that they will have the control on whoever wins, they want to control. Be it Christian, be it Muslim. And we need to understand that is the game that is being played right now. The Fulanis may not understand that, but we need to understand that. And we have to make sure that we take our land. If the Fulanis still want to be part of that construct, that's up to them. But we have to be very, very clear that those who are supporting the Fulanis, giving them weapons, they are doing so to ensure that our resources remains something that they can come and dip and take as and when they please at our expense. Our resources are being taken for nothing. There are so many refineries across Europe that the resources, our oil is being stolen, shipped across to Europe for them to process and bring back home to us for us to buy. So we're losing money two ways. It is time we woke up. So this message is going out specifically to those of us. If you are still talking about, you're having a compassion and you feel for the old lady, fine, do so. But understand that you need to wake up. The coming generation, you cannot leave this kind of legacy for the coming generation. Be it Yoruba, be it Igbo, be it Biafrans or Middle Belt. We must not leave this kind of legacy of oppression and suppression in our own land. Legacy of suppression and oppression in our own land. We need to do whatever it takes to free our people. We are one of the most resource-endowed places in the entire world. Our people should be living like kings and queens in their land. I kid you not. But for as long as we allow this fraud called Nigeria to be imposed on us by those who created it, if you notice, those who created it, they are sponsoring the people within our area, the new colonials, the local colonials, to allow them to continue to take our resources. That is what is happening. I want us all to be very, very aware about this. There is a lot of work for us all to do in our communities. Please, you need to really understand that what we are saying here is about the future of the coming generation. If you're saying they're going to church or to the mosque and that is the only way to say them, it is a lie. It is a tool of oppression. I don't mean, especially if you're on ground in Nigeria. If you're on ground in Nigeria, you need to, in that conception of Nigeria, you need to understand that they are tools of division designed to keep us divided so we never unite to free ourselves. So I'm calling on my Biafran brothers, my Yoruba brothers, my Middle Belt brothers. Please, now is the time for us to unite, work together. And our focus has to be how we are separating from that contraction. Why are we keeping a name that's been imposed by those who oppressed us? Why? Why are those our leaders intent on enslaving their own people? Our Yoruba leaders, shame on them. Our Biafran leaders, Ipob leaders, shame on them. Our Middle Belt, shame on them. They know full well what we're saying. We are not lying about what is going on here. Many of us who are in diaspora, we are desperate to come back home and improve the life of everybody there with infrastructure that we can have. We have the funds for those infrastructures. But the system that's been imposed on us has made us, has impoverished us in our own land, in the land of plenty, fertile land. And this is part of a global network, which I don't want to go into too much detail about now. But for now, we have to focus on freeing our people, encouraging our people on ground that what we are suffering from now is still colonialism. It is clandestine colonialism. They are using the Fulanis to do the dirty work. So you will not think that, oh, the colonials have still got their hands in the pie. They have. The French are doing the same thing, and the English are doing the same thing. The two most popular in languages spoken on the continent of Africa today is English and French. Go and check it out. Two of the most popular languages spoken, foreign languages spoken in Africa is English and French. And they've divided us up so much that we're busy fighting ourselves over some useless religion that they don't care about. It's time we woke up. And I want us all to really understand. At this point, I've been watching the proceedings today. I can't celebrate it. I cannot celebrate it. Yes, fine, she's had her time, she's gone. But what she represents is a threat to our lives, is a threat to our people. And it's the ongoing oppression using racism and all kinds of things to oppress us in our own land. So it is time that we woke up, my people. We need to redouble our effort to wake our people up at home and make them understand that they have the power to take back our land. We do not have to listen to or accept this injustice any longer. We must do everything in our power to wake our people up and say, look, this is what is being done to you. You are being imprisoned in your own land. You have the right to the oil in your land. You have the right to the gas in your land. You have the right to the gold in your land. And your people should enjoy the benefits. You should have good roads, good schools, bridges, healthcare, free school, university, everything a modern day economy should have, you are entitled. This is your entitlement. Right now, the government is trying, the federal government is trying to enslave you in your land. They take away our resources from us and they put it in the center and they give it to whoever without taking consent from us, the people. We, the people, our voice has been taken away. We need to wake up. So I'm here to reiterate again. I'm sorry I've not been able to come out as much as often because of my health issues. I'm trying to manage that. But be that as it may, I keep saying to myself, any opportunity I can find and come out and talk about this, that we need to wake up our Biafran brothers, our Yoruba brothers, stop believing in that OB thing that they're talking about, or Ashiwaju. They are all part of the same system designed to enslave you. Anything called Nigeria, we didn't. Our ancestors did not create Nigeria. Let me show you a picture again. Those of you who may be joining again for the first time, if you're watching me, I posted a picture and I talked about it, and I'm going to do a broadcast about that later on. In Yoruba land, for example, the last truly independent king that we have was a man, a late king, Adeyemi Oba Adeyemi Alowolodu, the first, 1874 to 1905, in Oyo, in Yoruba land, known as Oyo at the time. Now, we need to understand that was the last independent. That is the man. He was sovereign, our sovereign. He reigned supreme over Yoruba people with the consent of the Yoruba people. He was crowned in Yoruba land. He was crowned by Yoruba people in Yoruba land. Now, in 1888, the British colonials came and took power from him and decided they forced him to sign a treaty that he must only trade with the British. That if he traded with anybody else, they had the right to come and take the land. And that's exactly what they did. They took his land. On the 12th of November, 1888, they brought in guns and killed people. And he became from that day on, he became a slave, a vassal king. These are things that we need to understand. So on that basis alone, there is no basis upon which our own king, supported the creation of Nigeria. They never did. He never did. It was imposed upon him. And that is the justification. There'll be more things I'm talking about where that is grounds for reparations right there. Right there. That is grounds for reparations. And these are kind of things that our people need to understand. So that the reparations is also making it clear to our people that we have every right to go for self-determination. These are the realities. Again, sorry?
Citizen Ayo.
Yes. Yes.
The Caribbeans, the people of
Yes.
West Indies, they talked about since the
reparation.
Queen has died and they'll be asking for reparation. And
yes.
their own, what do you call it?
They want their reparations and also to get their own independence as well. True independence, completely break away. Yes.
Yeah, let's
the Republic. Yes.
See what I brought this up because if you look in Britain,
yes,
you see the black people. They are either the West Indies people or Nigerians.
Yes.
Nigerians, West Indies, and then they brought a new system, and that system is they tell you are a citizen of Britain.
Yes.
It's only on a piece of paper.
Yes.
So if I gave before you came on the I asked why is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still in detention? Why is he still there? If they have equal right and a British citizen is unjustifiably being held, why is Britain allowing it? They are allowing it because they are the ones that initiated it. It is their handiwork from Kenya, and they act like they agree. Now, citizens, now you let our people know this, because I'm glad most of you are beginning to listen. The draining of our brains, they're telling our doctors, oh, come to London. Come to London, we'll give you this and that.
Nurses and doctors, they are all exact. Yes, you're right.
Let our people know that it is gimmick. It's a way of shutting you up. It's a way of letting those that are enlightened be free. You know, they say we are safe in London. And that is why small thing you say, I'm going to London. I'm going to London. What's wrong? Why don't you fix your own country and be as free and be the owner of your own land and have experience what is called freedom? Why can't we do that? Can you please drive this home, see where you can put it so that your own people will understand what we're saying?
Well, a very good point you raised about that. What they realize is that, you see, if they allow more people, if they allow people who are clever to remain within their colony, because that's another thing we need to understand. We are not independent. There is no country independent in Africa right now. We need to be very, very clever. There's zero country. Even the country that Paul Kigali. No. Paul, we're talking about Rwanda.
Yeah.
You know, they are still under the control of the French. We need to be very, because the language that they speak in that place is still the French language, and everything, the business and everything you're doing is still with the French. So we have to be very, very clear that what they're doing now is when they see that people are beginning to be aware and talking, they subtly remove them and say, okay, fine, bring them over to us. They can work for us, whilst at the same time keeping them quiet. And that is what is going on. We have to be careful. We have to be alert and know that all our brains is trying to ensure that that place remains underdeveloped, a place that's so underdeveloped and never has infrastructures in place that will now become a threat to their domination of finished goods. This is about ensuring that Africa remains resource, raw material producing country only. There's a guy that I'm going to bring to you. There's a name of a guy called, what's it called again now? Let me bring that name up. Let me see. He's a man from the from Netherlands. He's a Nicholas, and he said that Europe wants to make sure that Africa, we can get African resources dead cheap. So everything that is being done now is designed to ensure that we never have any competitive edge on in terms of production of goods at all. And everything that's been designed is to make sure that Africa never ever has anything that will compete with Europe, i.e., be it in terms of, for example, petrol. For example, if it's been exported, they take it away from here. And we found that many of the oil is ending up in Southampton, being processed and then brought back to us, and we have to buy it. Again, our doctors, our nurses, they are living in the job, and our people are not getting the adequate healthcare that we need in our own country. Back in the 70s, we had the best healthcare. King of Saudi Arabia came down to Africa, to Nigeria in Luz, I believe, to get healthcare. All of that has been destroyed. Now, what we need to do, this is why we're saying going for self-determination is the only solution. Trying to come to the coattails of the oppressors is only going to be only going to leave our people suffering forever, and we need to put a stop to it. We cannot leave this. We cannot leave our children to be suffering, forever and ever at the hands of those who oppressed us. We need to wake up. The time has come for us to wake up as a people and let our people know that what is being done here is crazy. It's unjust, and we need to wake up. We need to wake up, and it is time that we told ourselves this honest truth, that our people are being exploited at every level. Not only the people, our resources, our people, everything that we have in Africa, we're not considered to be human beings. Because if we were considered to be human beings, nobody would come in and be taking our resources and oppressing us. And do you know that the Second World War was about keeping who was going to keep part of Africa? The Germans, when they lost the First World War, because they took away from them 2 colonies. I think it was either Cameroon, because Cameroon used to belong to, they used to be controlled by Germany. And then another one, I can't remember the other one. I think, was it Congo? I can't remember. So they fought to try and take that back. And what is sad about it is that many of us in Africa were believing the lie that we are fighting a war for justice, not knowing that what they were fighting for was about us. And we were told to go and support them. And our people went and died in a war that was about their enslavement. This is, I kid you not. This is, when I read all of this, many of the African soldiers that went to that war did not understand that the war that they were fighting was about who was going to be in control. It was either going to be Hitler or the West. And yet we were still under, and if you notice, there is no monument anywhere in Europe that honors and mentions countries. Several countries went and gave people, Nigeria and others, when they say, oh, they're commemorating the people, the war, they just put Africa. Whereas there are people that thousands upon thousands died from various countries that went to support the war, from Cameroon, from Nigeria, from all over. And these are the things that we have to be very, very conscious of. So going back to what you stated before, what is being done is our resource in terms of human resources. There's a young boy that designed he used some sort of basic tools to make some cars and things. He's been taken to Finland. He's been taken away to Finland and he'll be developing things for Finland. We are losing out on all of this because of bad governance, and it is most likely. I think the boy was from Yoruba land. I think, if I recall, and there's another boy again from Biafra. Now, if we have our nation, those talents can be nurtured at home. There's nothing wrong in nurturing our talents at home. And just to tie up to what you said before about Mazi Kanu, and we demand his unconditional release. Mazi Kanu is holding a British passport. He is holding a British passport as we speak. And yet, what is happening with him is that the British government is not interfering and saying, you are holding our citizen. You need to let go of him. He is holding a British passport. And let's not forget, the reason why Nnamdi Kanu fled from Contract Nigeria was that they were killing. And they planned to raid his home. In fact, not planned to, they did raid. And he luckily escaped. He had to escape from that place. My brother, am I wrong? Am I wrong, my brother? Dr. Mazi?
You are very, very correct. Very, very correct.
So now he had to flee. And then he came to so-called the sanctuary for democracy, the beacon of democracy. believing that he's a citizen. They gave him and now that he's now been illegally renditioned. This is a fact. The government of the UK is absolutely silent. It's absolutely silent. Now, the doctor I was talking about, let me just give the name, Dr. Nicholas something. What's his name again? Oh, I'm just trying to bring that up. 1 second. So now, it's important I'm tying all of this, but I know I'm going quite fast. But it is really important that we begin to understand what has been done to us here. And what is being done is to keep Africa underdeveloped so that they can have unfettered access to our resources. Now, we need to put a stop to that because many of us who are abroad, we see what is being done. We understand the game that is being done. On the scepter of the queen that they put on the picture, there is a $500 million diamond, cut diamond, one side, came from South Africa. It was stolen from South Africa. And it's put on there, and South Africa is demanding it back. You know, there's another Kaimo something, another expensive diamond of some sort that's taken from India as well. They want that back. Now, many of us are not aware of this. As I speak to you, there are the bronze head of the king of Yoruba land. The bronze head is in the British Museum. These are things that we must get back as people. We must go for our own self-determination. No ifs, no buts.
You struck a chord, and when I did a episode on that one, you see how like brain we have they have these things in the museum, and when we have it at home, they brand it evil, taboo, and we don't even have to associate with it. But when they go to their museum, they display it, and then we pay to go and look at it.
What is ours?
What belongs to you? You pay to go. That tells you the brain of our people, and we can't say, "Come on, give us our thing back," you know. And I could see a British guys arguing about it. No, you have to buy it back. Why do we have to buy it back? It belongs to us.
Let me play you a voice. I'm going to quickly play a voice if I can. Oh, you won't be able to hear it. But there is a British minister that's saying that they have every right to keep it. They can come into an agreement to us as to when we can loan it from them. To loan what, let me. Oh, I can't play it on here. If I did, it will stop you talking. I mean, I was flabbergasted, to even tell us that what is my own ancestral stuff. I have to go to a museum and peer behind the glass at what is from my own ancestors.
Go ahead and play.
And you're telling me,
go ahead and play it. Go play it, and then you reconnect. Go ahead.
Okay, let me do that. Okay, I'll do that. Give me 1 second.
This is what we're experiencing. We have a lot. We are blessed with a lot of things. We are blessed. Natural resources, we have it. Name it, everything, talent, we have it. And they put us together. Royal Niger Company is a slave trading company. Slave trading. And they did the amalgamation. We keep hammering and hammering and hammering, telling you guys. But nobody is listening. What is playing will be on Rapture Media. It will not come through me. So for those that are listening in the Rapture Media, they can hear. I think I've played that before. What Citizen Ayo is playing to you, I've played it before. So here we are very much ahead. In anything we are doing, we are ahead. We are ahead. So those that are coming up, you're hearing what we've been preaching about for a very long time. And it's good. It's good that when we call you here on Radio Biafra, we bring your attention to our issues, what we need to do. You think we are playing. And then they will come and demonize IPOB. You see, that is the brainwashing I'm talking about. They will come and tell you IPOB is this. They know that we are the ones that will lead our people to freedom. So they have no option, no other option than to demonize IPOB. And our people will believe them. Now, why will you believe what they're telling you? Why will you believe what they're telling you? They are there in the bushes, hiding, taking your bushes away from you. They are there in your farmland, raping your mothers and your elderly women, and then murdering them. And nobody's challenging them. The chiefs are not, the Ezes are not, the Igwes are not, the governors are not. Even your local councilmen, they are not.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still playing it, but go ahead.
Yeah.
1 second. You won't be able to hear it though, but they can hear it.
Yeah, no problem. They can hear it, no problem. Let's, I want them to hear it because I played it before on my station.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's more interested that the world enjoys the marvelous heritage that is ours. But we, the people who own it, we have to go. Many of us have had to go and pay and watch this stuff, our own ancestral stuff in the museum. The king, to see, look, I have another video. I wish I didn't have it now. The Oni of Ife had to go and look at the bronze of his own ancestors as a king in the British Museum. I kid you not. There is a video of this. There is a video of this. So when we are talking about the need for us to go for self-determination, with self-determination, everything that's been stolen from us will be returned. Because we now, the people, our voices as collective is important. As Biafrans, collectively, the people say, we the people we speak, we demand that everything stolen from us by the colonials is returned. And that's the voice of the people. It's not one person having an agreement and say, okay, we'll keep it, we will loan you it. The time has come. We are in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is the age of awareness. We cannot afford to remain in the dark anymore. Because our coming generation, what are we going to leave behind for Biafrans? What are we going to leave behind for Yoruba people? What are we leaving behind for Middle Belt people? Is this the kind of future we want to live for them? A future where our own resources, our own, everything in our land is taken by others and we remain quiet? We cannot do this. We must not accept this any longer. So we are here waking each and every one of us up, particularly those of you who are at home. We urge you, the effort that you're putting in to stand up and speak up, please do not relent. You may think that you're not having impact, but the fact that they are putting OB in front of you, they're trying, and it's showing you that 1 second, please, 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, go ahead. So 1 minute, or let me just do. So the fact that we're doing all of what is going on now, 1 minute. Let me just check. I'm just checking something. Somebody just called, but I wanted to make sure they can text me. So now, what I am showing, what we're saying right now, and for every one of you watching, please, you may think that the Biafrans and Yoruba people were not having impact. We are having impact because the people who are trying to keep us enslaved, they are now putting OB in front of us and say yes, go and vote in an election because they want us to partake in that fraud. That Nigerian constitution is a fraud. And every time you keep it in front of you every 4 years, you're renewing the fraud. Let me say that again slowly. Every time you vote on that fraudulent 1999 constitution, you are renewing the vow to support the fraud that is oppressing you on a daily basis. We need to break it up. The only way to break it up is to go for self-determination. Make everybody go to answer in Papani. That is what must happen. We cannot continue to be tied to a fraudulent document. A document, if you go and look at it, when you when you break all of this down, you will find that there is a hand of the British government in writing that constitution. You will find that problem constitution, because they said, Professor Adudu, or whatever they call his name, Yadudu, and others came up, and they came, and the military. The military, they know nothing about constitution. They are only men who can carry arms and defend. And what they've done since they imposed this military document on us has to enslave us in our land. The military that's meant to be protecting the people have turned the guns on us, the people, and silenced us and imprisoned us in our own land. And I maintain it. I keep saying it again. The Nigerian constitution is a fraud. The Nigerian constitution is a fraud that we must continually expose. We must not be silent in the face of this injustice. And the only way we can do this is continuing to raise the level of awareness in each and every of our community, that the time has come for you to stand up and say no to your resources being stolen. The people who are in the Niger Delta, the resources are being looted by the likes of Shell, Exo, and Enron. All of these people, they come in, taking it, and they damage the land. The people cannot fish in their own land, and they're not paid any compensation. And you're telling us to believe in one Nigeria. That's one Nigeria for you. One Nigeria is what did that. One Nigeria is what killed Kensaruwa. Did you hear me? One Nigeria is what killed Kensaruwa and the Ogoni 9, because he was speaking up for his people, and they did not want the voice of the people to be heard. And they're telling you to support one Nigeria. One Nigeria is a fraud. We need to break it up. And we need, you and I, you got a video, you got a camera, if you have a space like in abroad, you need to continue to connect with our people, make them aware that they have the power to bring down that fraud. My ancestors, your ancestors of Obarem never gave hand to the creation of Nigeria. They killed, they chased him, they put him away in Calabar. They dethroned him from Benin, put him in Calabar, where he died, and took away the loot from his kingdom. They destroyed his kingdom, and they've not paid compensation till date. And then they're telling you to believe in one Nigeria. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. It is a fraud. The tusk that they took away from King of Obarem's place was valued at 2 million at the time. 2 million pounds at the time. 2 million. And I don't know what's 2 million in today's money. Go and do the maths. These are the realities of what we're facing. And we're not saying this out of hatred. We're saying we need to know our history. I've told you now, King Obadeyemi, he was forced to sign a treaty to cover the whole of Yoruba land, where that the British can only the British can trade with him. And when they tried to do the same thing with King Obarem, he said no way. He sent them away. He said no, I can do whatever I want. And then they came back with guns and killed these people. And you're telling us that it's one. How does that tie into one Nigeria? When the people who own the land were dethroned or killed, or forced to sign away the right to their land, to cede their land by force. I will be showing a program about that to break that down in detail. Watch out for that. But we need to understand that the time where we are now, it is time for us, as people, as Yorubas, as Biafrans, as Middle Belt, to continue to never ever relent, because this is not about you and me anymore now. It's about the coming generation. The coming generation. We want a peaceful nation. We want peaceful Yoruba nation, peaceful Biafra nation. We want peaceful Middle Belt nation. Even any Hausa man or Fulani can come and live among us, but he will be living following our rules. The Nigerian constitution, the Nigerian constitution is a fraud. It is a fraud, and it will remain a fraud because the military imposed it on us. There is no referendum anywhere supporting that fraud. And every time you vote in any elections, under that constitution, you are imposing on yourselves the fraud. The fraud that will continue to take away the resources from your community and leave you destitute in your own land. That is why we need to break it up. Nobody should be voting in any elections in 2023. Our focus must be screaming and clamoring for self-determination. But if you do go and vote, like I said here, we, the Biafrans who are clamoring for Biafra, we Yoruba people clamoring for Yoruba nation, we will be waiting for you to come and join us, because that is when your eyes will clear up on the 13th of June 2023 if you vote. Exactly on the 13th of June, a day after the election, una eye will come clear. Una go see they don't play una well. And when that day, you're welcome to come back and join us in the struggle, because we will be waiting. I'm telling you this now. Atiku is the man who will win. INEC has already started. They're rigging the results already. They're taking away names of people who are in the south from election from the register, and they're leaving the northerners. That 10 million. Pantami registered 10 million non-Nigerians as Nigerians. 10 million foreigners, and you're believing in one Nigeria. And you have what's one Nigeria in that? There is no border. There is zero border between Nigeria and Niger, between Chad and Niger. People from the Fulanis from Niger and Chad walk in and they get the Nigerian passport, they get the ID card, they get the voter's card for nothing. They don't even kill. So please, what is one Nigeria? What is this talk about one Nigeria? Nigeria is a fraud. The constitution is a fraud. We must break it up. We, the people in those areas, in Biafra land, in Yoruba land, in Middle Belt, we need to stand together. Take back what is ours, our resources. Nigeria is a fraud. They tell them to go and find you a referendum that we voted in. They will never, there's no referendum. We never voted to support one Nigeria. They impose it on you and I.
Let's let our listeners know where we are talking from. It's Radio Biafra USA. We are coming to you from Radio Biafra USA, and this is a weekly program on Mondays. We are here with Citizen Airway, so it's a program you can't afford to miss. We are enlightening all of you as to what we are doing, why we are broadcasting every day, why we are calling your attention to the lies being peddled around, to the dream of a country that doesn't exist. That Nigeria is Royal Niger Company. That is a corporation. Royal Niger Company. That they engaged in slave trade, and directly from Britain, from Anglican Church. That's where it came from. And they are telling you, and you're running around, you're a Christian, and this and that. We are making you aware of where our problem started. And now we are well enlightened that we should be able to tell those that have been engaged or immersed themselves in political thuggery that we have come to matured age, that we can tell you no. It's not everything they say here, but the thing is that they have so washed our brains that the same people enslaving you are the same ones you are running behind their motorcade, honorable. What makes them honorable, heaven knows. They are subject to British instructions, and that is why you can never demonstrate. So we welcome all our listeners, and we hope you join us again next Monday. It's a weekly event, and Citizen Airway, I hand it over to you to finish what you're saying before the calls start coming in.
Yes. Now, so please, above all, please, this message goes to every single Peter Obi supporter in Contraction Nigeria and abroad. This message is for you. On the 13th of June, 2023, if you go ahead and vote for this and support this Peter Obi, expect to be heavily disappointed. Expect to be heavily disappointed. You will be the weight of that disappointment. You will feel it the next day, because Atiku will be announced as your president, and when it does, that is when you will know that Nigeria is a fraud, because they are already putting INEC. INEC is already massaging the numbers. They are taking away people who are indigenous people. Many of the people, if you go and look at it, many of the people that will be taken away from that register, from the INEC register, are going to be indigenous people, Biafrans, Middle Belters, Yorubas. Those are the ones they are going to be taken away from the register. And what that means is that they are putting in, meanwhile, the borders, like I said, the border between Nigeria and Chad, and Nigeria and Niger, and Chad and Nigeria is open. Go and look at it. They only have stick that somebody can step over. Whereas in the borders in the south, they put barricades, huge barricades. You have to go around the back and to get across to speak to. And we are relatives. People don't realize that. The Benin people, the Dahomey, they used to be called Dahomey, but they changed it to Benin to confuse us. But we know our history. The people who are in Benin, which is Dahomey in the real name, the people of Benin now by Badaku and Yoruba, the Yoruba people in Lagos, they are one and the same. They are one and the same. But they put a border there, physical border to restrict us. Again, in Cameroon, between Cameroon and on the other side, my brother, Biafran brothers as well, the same thing. So we know our history. But they put physical borders to make it difficult for us to cross, to mingle. But they left the borders open enough. And you're telling me that there's one Nigeria. There is no such thing as one Nigeria. So all you OB people, I understand your passion. I like that passion. I understand it. That you believe that if you did the right thing, it would happen. But Nigeria is not a country that we put our hands. This is an imposition. So whatever thing you try and do, you cannot fix a fraud. You cannot fix a fraud.
Citizen AY, what is the official language of Benin?
We have the Yoruba. There's a Yoruba speaking side, and there's another one. There's different other language, but the Yorubas, we have a section that speaks Yoruba, and the official language is they say it's a French language, French speaking.
Yes.
But again, it was a way to divide us. The French speaking.
I know why I'm asking you the question.
Yes.
What about Cameroon? What is the official language?
French.
Okay. Now this is the divide and rule. Now these people came.
Exactly.
These people came, Yoruba land, they divided Yoruba land in two. And they told you this is Benin and this is Yoruba.
Yes, sir.
And you are all one and the same. And you speak, you speak the same.
Exactly. We speak the same language.
Yeah, they just divide. And we cannot say this. Why will it happen? It is not going to happen. These are our brothers.
Exactly.
We must stick together. Divide and rule. And then that system, they use it in telling you about states. In your own region, they are dissecting them bit by bit. This is Anambra state. This is this state. This is it. They are all one and the same.
Yeah.
And once that dissection has been made, people will think that you are different. That these are the same people in culture, in everything. So let our people know what they are facing. The colonial masters have invaded us, and these are the things they put in place. And I think it's time for us to wake up. So
we must.
Yeah. So round up and let's open the phone line for our people.
Yes. So please, my people, those of you, I want to just say a word about this. Those of you who are mourning the passing of the UK Queen, that's fine if you want to mourn her. But I would like you to, before you mourn her, understand your own history. That's all I want you to do. You need to understand where you come from, and you need to understand the role she has played in where you are. All of us, as we are in Europe right now, they have played a significant part in impoverishing us and our people. They played a significant part in impoverishing us in our land. And we need to understand that. And well and good for the people, the Europe, for UK people, British, English and white and Caucasian to mourn their own. That's fine. But we need to understand, if we are mourning them, we are actually causing our own ancestors. Because all of the wealth that they got is from our ancestors that they haven't repaid yet. They haven't repaid it. Are they alive, my brother?
That's the truth.
They haven't paid it back. So if we are crying and supporting that, we are cementing and saying it's okay for them to continue to oppress us and not take back what is ours. We're not asking for anything that theirs. We're only saying that it's time for us to get back what is ours. So for our coming generation. That is what we are saying. So, like I said, if anybody wants to go and support her, fine. There is a compassion to a certain level. The old lady grows old, she passed away. In fact, in our culture, in Yoruba culture, if you're 96, we celebrate. There's a song that we sing. It goes, ile lo lo tarara, ile lo lo tarara. And if it's a man, they say Baba Rile. If it's a woman, they say Mama Rile. Ile lo lo, because they've lived a long life. So it's actually a celebration. But what they're doing here is a way to get us to actually, by symbolically, when you support this, you are supporting your oppression. It's really important to understand it. We need to understand that. Again, please, I'm not anybody breathing Caucasian. Please support. Please, in fact, it is your duty to stand up and feel the emotion, but not from me, because the story of what has been. Again, when I will do a show next week, and when I do that show, I want people to watch it because it's really important so you can understand the significance of what was done to us, and why we are what you call a divided, an enslaved nation today. We still remain a slave nation. We are speaking a foreign language in our own land. In the UK here, fine, I'm happy to speak the English, but I want to speak Yoruba in Yoruba land. My brother wants to speak Igbo in Biafra land. My middle person wants to speak the Nok language or Tiv language. Why should we be speaking a language that is enslaving us? Why should we? Why should we? They say this saying, if you're in Rome, do as Roman. That would mean that if as I'm in England now, I will speak English. In Yoruba land, there should be only one language I'm speaking, and that should be Yoruba. End of story. In Biafra land, there should be only one language I'm speaking. It should be Igbo language. And in the Middle Belt, it should be Tiv language or whatever it is in that area. But what is happening is that we are speaking a language where it has no connection to our own ancestors. We are not. Every time you speak a language, your own language, you are honoring your ancestors. They flow through your veins. Your ancestors flow through your veins. Why is it that you're happy to go and in your own land to be speaking a foreign language over the body and the land of your ancestors? Why? We need to wake up. The time has come to wake up. Like I said, I would never, if in this country, you speak the language. You must speak the language. In our country, likewise, we must speak our language. Our language is important in our land because it's the connection to our soil, to our ancestors, in our DNA. And every time we reject it, we are rejecting ourselves. We need to embrace who we are. Language, culture, everything. We must embrace it. So let me stop there for now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. The call number is +1 484 767 0848 +1 484 767 0848. Live broadcast from Radio Biafra USA. We are here with our citizen AY, and
yes,
we welcome our listeners. And it's a weekly program.
Yes, we do it on a weekly basis. Yes.
On Monday.
So please, if you want to call in. So give me the number again. +1 484. I'll type it on here.
+1 484 767 0848.
767 0848.
Yes.
Okay. So please, if you do want to call in, +1 484 767 0848.
Yes.
So if anybody wants to call in, do call in. I'll see if I can got my other phone line on. I've not used that for some time. Because I've been off now, I've not really. It's due to this health concern of mine. I've had to ease off a little bit. But we're here.
Yeah, okay. He's trying to call in. I'm waiting for him to. He has been calling, and we are waiting for him to call in. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
We are waiting for you. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Mazi Alozie, good evening from Warsaw, Poland here. And the citizen AY, my beloved friend and comrade, I will continue to appreciate you for what you are doing. Your name has entered history. Continue to do the good work. Our leader still remains Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and all his lieutenants doing the needful. Men and women of all over the world, we continue to appreciate all of you. And our people in the bush defending their motherland, we appreciate all of you. Fanaticals, we have come once again. Mazi, the analysis is not today. We started campaigning about these things, the atrocities of Britain and this woman that just passed on now. Because from Edo State to all the York of Biafrans, when we tell them, when you go to museum here in Europe, you see our antifas. But in my own town, in our own place where we are born, in Imo, they will tell you that this is this heresy, but they will come and carry example of what I'm talking now recently. If our people could go, you know, sometimes all these movies that are software they made, that portray something, that shows something. We don't just watch it canally. If you go and watch Captain or software, that is exactly what is trending. Where the fake Lebanese are coming to, you bring your idol, they take it here and put it in their museums all over the world, and we pay money to go and look at it. So, Citizen Airwine will continue to appreciate, please. And secondly, Citizen Airwine, Mazi Alozie, lest I forget, the 1 million man march in UK in 17th October, the flyer is in your table now. I think in all the broadcasters is in their table now. And the Citizen Airwine, I think I send it to you, Oli. Please, this is 1 million man march taking place 17th October, say almost 1 month now, or less than 1 month, in Liverpool. Why I send it to you, because I know the role you played during 1 million man march between the three nations, Amazonia and the Oduduwas in Brussels, and our beloved Oduduwa brothers equally, Larry and all of them, Capodane, they did wonderfully well. We're equally begging on you now to put it on your platform, because Yorubas dominate that place you are staying in UK. Because UK is very pivotal in what we are doing now. They are our problem, so we have to take that word to them. And I think after that, in 3 days or so about, we'll be heading to Helsinki. We want to take the word to our enemy's camp. So, Citizens, please do what you know how to do best as usual. Talk to your people. All of us are freedom all over the world, all over Africans. This is the time, all of you that are being humiliated, this time to join us in UK on 17th in Liverpool. And very soon the committee will be coming online, and we'll be dishing out names and hotels to book, and people should start now booking their tickets this December month. And if you can equally book for Finland, somewhat I will tell you the Helsinki date. But you'll be very, very close, less than 2-3 days gap. Please, because of our brothers who are coming from America and Canada, it will be wise they grade the both occasions. Please, this is very important. Mazi Alozie, I think I take it from there because I know you don't have more time. We are ready to go. If it is in your lead, okay? Thank you. I remain across.
Thank you. Yes, it is new.
Hello, Baba.
Respond to me.
Oh, I didn't hear that message properly. Sorry, I was just give me, because the line broke. So
okay.
Just if you could read that.
The Million Man March that will be taking place in UK on the 17th of October, and he's saying that.
Oh, okay.
He sent you the information, and then you should.
Yes. I will be. Yes, of course. Sorry. Yes. I do apologize. I had, like I said, because of this health issue of mine, sometimes I do miss things. So I saw something and I was going to respond to it, but I didn't. Let me quickly, as we're talking now, I'll quickly go into that. Okay, let me just quickly put that down. 1 minute. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard from OK Foreign, that match, peaceful rally is happening, and we would like you all to be part of it. Let me see. Okay. So now I'm just going to read it. Yes. Okay. So I've got it now. So I do apologize. Now, yeah. So I will be sharing that with you all. So the march is happening on the 16th of October. 17th, Sunday.
17th of October.
Oh, 6th. It says 16th and 17th here.
Okay. So
okay, one is in Liverpool and the other one is in London.
Okay.
So yeah. So the 17th of October, 2022. So we should be there. We need to come out on that day. It's a 1 million man march, and yeah, definitely I will be there. I'm going to make every effort to be there for the 17th of October, and I will be promoting that. I will be sharing that. So definitely something we should do.
I have a caller here. Caller, your name and where you calling?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mazi Alozie. Good evening to you from here and good morning from your end. My name is Desmond and I'm calling from Italy. Our comrade, Citizen AY, you are a freedom fighter. Yes, you are now one of us. Completely, you understand what we are doing. You understand the root of our problem, and this is why we say that it is very, very important, because when we understand the root of our problem, it will be easy for us to confront the problem. Do you see how it is easy now for us? Because we know who the enemy is.
Yes.
So I want to thank you very much, and I hope that our people of the old people will also come up with this your vibes and with your own understanding too. Is going to make our work much more easier. Thank you, Mazi Alozie, today for opening this topic. Because it is good to advise. It is good to say, because people don't understand death is inevitable. Everybody will die, but somebody cannot die. Somebody that is a genocidist cannot die. You begin to say, "Oh, he was a life giver." A killer will not die, and you say he's a life giver. You say he's a killer.
Yeah.
That is what they call legacy.
Yeah.
When somebody dies, the legacy comes to play, and that's why the people say, "Be good." So the woman in England that died, the queen or whatever they call her, their queen. It destroyed our life. It killed our people. So we cannot come out and start to say it do good for us, because it destroyed our life. And we have to say it the way it is. We can't lie. The evidences are there. The pictures, even their BBC, they have the documentary of everything. This is the worst part of it. BBC has the holistic documentary of the atrocities of British and their monarch in our land against our people. So you know what they did? It's not only they even stole anti-craft from our people, from Africa, from people. They even come, they take natural medicines, and they bring in these medicines that kill our people faster. Sometimes they bring in, they spin these medicines, they say it's for aid. They go to some rural areas. In Biafra land, I'm telling you, they will give it to churches. They will give it to, if that rural area doesn't have community health center, they will create one for the meantime, just for the job. Then they will be giving it to people. They will be giving to old women, even average women who are in the villages. Do you know there is somebody, there was one they give in one village, some people that took that medicine, eye drop and other things, some of them, after 2 years, they went blind, some of them died. All these things they say is foreign aid, it is all coming from Britain. And what is the link that they using to do this thing? They will say, oh, the Anglican Church, they will collect money from our people, they will send it to the monarch. She will be using to develop her place, while they are sending killer drugs to our people through Anglican churches, through community centers, through different things. So it is high time our people raise up and do the needful, because this time around, God has opened our eyes, and we are not going to let go of it until we are free. Until we are free, there is nothing anybody has to say. There is nothing anybody. They can fight all they can fight. They can do all they can do. But we are going to definitely be free, because we are determined. There is nothing you can do to determine people. You kill us. You burn our houses. You see what happened in Olu also in Itugwa. The military just invaded the community, burned the market, burned people's livelihood. People are rendered homeless. Their livelihood has been taken away. We don't care. We must take our freedom. But they should know that when they are doing this thing, there is a limit to everything. The world cannot feign ignorance on what is going on in Biafra land. We are saying it, and we are saying it. And Mazi Alozie, you see, there is a video that is trending online now. I don't know, maybe you've not seen it. Three little Biafran girls. 3 of them. They did not mention the name of the community. I think it's a village, and it is the village vigilante that got them. And they were interviewing them. And they were asking them, do you know that these girls, they used to go to some Fulani, they said Hausa, but I know it's that, you know, most of these vigilantes, they have taught them how to be diplomatic. Maybe their Igwe have told them, don't call Fulani, anything you see, don't call Fulani, you can call Hausa. But I'm sure it's Fulani, not Hausa. So those girls, one 13 years, the other one 15 years, and the other one, I don't know how many years, it's 14 years, they're about. They go to their house, they go and defile these our girls, and the girls return back to their parents. As in because those people are living with them in the community.
Yeah.
You know, very, very terrible. They are not only killing our people in the bushes or raping our mothers, they are also hypnotizing and defiling our minors, our underage girls. 3 of them.
Exactly.
It is going on online. Maybe after the program, you are going to see it. You know?
Oh my gosh.
So every community must wake up. Any community that has Fulani living with them must chase them away. That is the only way to go. And people were videoing this girl. Some people wanted to even beat them. Why are you beating them? These are victims. Because they are hypnotized. I am told they were hypnotized. You know, they were asking them, how many times have you gone there? The other one said she was the first person. He even got the name of the Fulani pedophile that is defiling them. You see what is going on in Biafra land? Abomination is happening in our land. These people are desecrating our land. And Fulani is still in our land. Some communities are still harboring them. So our people must wake up to reality. We cannot allow this to continue. And in that advice, I'm going to tell the one to come out and confess to the world. Speak the truth about Aburi Accord. So that tomorrow, not that he will die tomorrow now. Some people will say, he's a statesman. They are abusing him. They are doing this. They'll start talking rubbish. So if he dies tomorrow, he's going to collect photo. Because we will say it the way it is. So, he's a murderer. We have to say that is alive. He's a genocide. He's a murderer. So if you come out now and say the truth about Aburi Accord, it is very, very important that you come out now and clear himself. Because his queen is dead. And moreover, I heard that burying her. I think they are burying Nigeria. Because Nigeria is dead. After all, Buhari, for the impostor in Aso Rock, recognized that he was the queen that supported him during the war. He said it. He said the queen played a vital role during the Nigeria-Biafra war. So I think they are burying Nigeria now. So having said all this, this is just my opinion. And I have to say it because we have to say as our opinion. Somebody killed you and are only talking and they are complaining. You are not killing them back. You are only talking and they are complaining. What kind of thing is that? I will encourage Biafrans. We must continue what we are doing. We must continue to support ESN. We must defend the land of Biafra, which is one of the reasons I called also to give out the numbers for Biafrans in Europe and also Biafrans in America. We should know this is the time for action. This is not the time that we have to. There is nothing left to do than to confront our enemies and defend our land. So for Biafrans in Europe, we have this number for you. These numbers are from IPOB National Body, signed by IPOB National Coordinator of Italy, of course approved by HODPOS. If you are a Biafran, you are in Europe, friends of Biafran, you call and you'll be directed on the appropriate channel to support ESN. Your country of domicile does not really matter because this number you can find on WhatsApp and on Signal. Their job is to direct you to the appropriate channel so that nobody will say, I was not aware, I didn't know the right place to put my money. Because at this time that we are, it will be the most stupid thing for somebody to give money in a wrong channel and say he's supporting ESN. Because any money to give in a wrong channel is supporting criminality in the land of Biafra. And we are not going to allow it to continue. That is why we are doing these clarifications and bringing this message to our people to understand. And the numbers are +39 35100 46055. This is IPOB National Coordinator number in Italy. And the second is +39 371 30444902. This is IPOB National PRO number in Italy. Any of them you call. Biafrans in Europe, you'll be directed on the appropriate channel to support ESN. And then for Biafrans in America, we also have the number for you to call, and you'll be directed to the appropriate channel to support ESN. Dr. Tina is the name known as Dr. Money, and the number is +1 682 552 3333. I will repeat, +1 682 552 3333. Dr. Tina, known as Dr. Money, you call and you'll be directed to the appropriate channel to support ESN. It is very, very important at this stage of our struggle. Now, Citizen AY, I want to just say something. You know, you see this, I don't know where he's from. This Irene Mokri. They should tell him IPOB is a freedom movement, not a political movement. We don't do politics. Let him keep his mouth in his basket, because we are going to tear his meat into pieces. So, you see all these people, somebody will just come out from nowhere and want to use IPOB to we will tear his meat. His meat, we will tear it into pieces. He's a small shit. So people, they should talk to him. We will tear like that. We don't take nonsense. So our people, our blood has been wasted. We will tell him his meat. I swear to God, he doesn't know anything, and we want his number. If you can help us, we want his number. We want his number. He ruled in Nigeria and he's living in London, or where he's living, I don't know. We will tell him meet into pieces. So thank you, Mazi Alozie, and to come here, my blessing from you. We must continue. Thank you very much.
Call out your name and where you calling from.
That Alozie, the CKO is that Alozie free. That I'm working and I'm calling from Aba province, Biafra land. That the she. Why? The CK.
Yes.
See, Biafrans. See, Biafrans. Do you think that there is any human being in Nigeria that deserves respect?
Okay.
They check here from the down to the local government and everything in Nigeria. Yes, all of us here want to put our common sense to organize what Britain created to enslave us. But they check, if not to Biafra, there's an IPOB. After the Kanu, there's a Goja. Then the Kama, the Britain likes to kill our ancestors. And you are the daughter, you are celebrating him. Show you. It's a professor, better than the Kanu. It's the only woman I have PhD with common sense. I respect her. She has made the record. She's in history. Then they will take this life first. Not the squad child get the war. Why? Not the squad child, the Almighty God. Not to get this war. We will be Biafrans. Now we carry his name. And the Britain has the right to come and give us their name. And my brother said this, all the medicine that they bring us, your enemy will not give you anything that will give you life. That's why you are dying. Hey, let us teach them. The squad cabinet sees them that are going Lamentation chapter 2 from verse 1 to end. That is Ezekiel chapter 13 from verse 1 to end. That is Ezekiel chapter 13. I tell you the first time, no, Allah. Not Bishop, never for that time. That's not quite joke. Makamuga, you know, that's all the day. Okay, but where you know that's the job that will stop you from having your freedom. That's one work. How did a classic come years ago? By the end of the could have them. So, may work your catch guy, but that's that. That I will do. Makachina Kawa, a good president of Israel. If we don't give it our leader unconditional, America is already gone because if they give us some sort of violence, to exist as a human being, that I will do. We deliver this word. Everyone write it down. This word, you see Boko Haram, Boko Haram for North. Last tomorrow we're waiting the news. We will collect the way we get this word. Everybody respect himself. Live for Ebola. Then that is an apple. What is the fast? Let them release our leader. Let the United Nations is unconditional. And the people will be better than you clear. Let's say some like that. Nobody is here. No human being here for Nigeria that sense. I respect nobody. Can we take this with another franga? You want to have a avatar? I'm going to take I'm going to make a I'm telling them that you don't know the prayer. All that happen also now. You train the defamation. I would carry a finelu, I would tell you, I would go. That's why they come put their flag for plantation. Nara. Jesus said to the Nile Muhammad, let
citizen, I don't know. Some of those you captured, some of them you didn't. So that's
I said those for Caucasians who want to honor the Queen, that's perfectly fine. I have nothing against that. I'm not even, that should happen. In fact, it'd be strange if it didn't happen. But me knowing my history, knowing what was done to me, we shouldn't, for the coming generation, we need to share the message. That is why the programs that we're doing is very important. We need our people to be aware of the injustice perfected on us in our own land. And to redress it, we need to honor our ancestors. We need to connect with our ancestors. So I'm not going to hold any apology for not being part of this procession. I deliberately don't want to be part of it because it's to honor that is like I'm putting a blessing on. I'm supporting my own oppression, my own people's oppression. Everybody that is suffering right now in Nigeria is because of these people. So we cannot do that. I can't.
Caller, your name and where you calling from?
Dr. Chukwuemeka Alozie, thank you for taking my call.
Welcome.
Yeah, you're speaking to your brother who's a widow, the scavenger. I'm calling from Africa Sud. Africa Sud is South Africa. I greet my leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience. I greet all Biafrans. I greet all Ipob members. I greet you, our brother, our comrade. Season AY. I greet you. I greet you. Yeah, we're still praying for you. You will be all right. You will be all right. They will be tempting because they know you're fighting for a cause. They will come with so many things to tempt you, but with God, you will survive everything. You will be free. My brother, you will be okay. Thank you for coming to help us to disseminate the information. Yeah, Citizen AY, there is something you talk here today. And I wanted, everybody is fighting us everywhere we go, even the Twitter. For me, I tweet alongside what Jeff Bezos said, because Jeff Bezos was angry about our sister, Ujunwa Aya, for what he said about the Queen. When I tweet, I asked George Bezos, what I wanted to ask you is, Judas Iscariot and Queen Elizabeth, who did the worst thing? I tweet to Jeff Bezos and tell him that to me, if I am a judge, Queen Elizabeth did the worst. Because Judas only sold Jesus Christ. And when he sold him, when he was selling Jesus Christ, he didn't know the extent of the damage. Because when he thought that when he sold Jesus Christ, that if people come to catch Jesus Christ will wave hand and all of them will fall down, as Jesus Christ has been performing wonder. He didn't know that it is the work of God that God wanted it to manifest. But now, Queen Elizabeth never showed any remorse about the killing of Biafrans. No. He supervised.
No,
like last week, I told you, that their president from 1964, which is Howard Wilson, to 1970, from 1964 to 1970, said that the death of 500,000 Biafrans children will not make him to change his policy on Biafran. But let me tell you, Citizen AY, what I want you to help me this evening is, I want you to help me talk to Nigeria kids, our youth. Because let me read to our youth what has been said about them. I don't know, the Fulanis have taught it in Proverbs, they have taught it in vocabulary, they have even come and taught it in Pidgin English. But our youth are not hearing. First, a Fulani man, which is Buhari, said that Nigeria youth are lazy. He said it, that Nigeria youth are lazy.
Amazing.
Another Fulani man said that let me finish, that Nigeria men cannot carry out revolution, that they lack the power to carry out revolution. Nigeria youth swallow it. Ahmed Bello said that this entity called Nigeria is his father's estate. He didn't talk. Now the former president before said everything, which is good luck. Last week, it's only last week he's waking up from this slumber. He's telling us that Nigeria is just a mere geographical expression. He said what the Fulani said. He said what Oduduwa said. And he said also what the Biafrans said, which means that there is nothing like Nigeria. And now I wanted you to ask our youth, this thing, are they making us to believe that they are lazy or what? Because explain to them what is lazy. Because they think that lazy means if you can, they thought that they are strong because they can carry 20 bags of cement at their back up to the 10-story building. They thought that using one hand to drive Okada, it makes them to be strong. They talk that swimming and catching fish inside deep and dying every time, swallowing pap without swallowing gari without soup. They think that makes them strong. Please, can you explain them? No. Explain to them that to be strong or to be wise is for you to be able to know when there is danger, to be able to articulate what is going on. Because this man called Obi, I can tell you this man called Obi wanted to be our worst enemy. He wanted to be our worst enemy just like Queen Elizabeth. Because this man, after Queen Elizabeth have done all the things that he has done to us, this man is going around parading with the same daughter of this Queen Elizabeth, which is Catrola land. He's even kissing him, hugging him. It's only in Nigeria that you see a diplomat making a campaign for the citizens. There is nothing that has not happened in that Nigeria. Please, can you help me talk to this our youths? When are they going to wake up? When are they going to wake up? Or are they going to wake up when we'll be finished up after 8 years? Then he will come and talk like Jonathan. When they are eating, when they are enjoying the money, Jonathan is now wearing big cap going around as a UN envoy. It's only now he's remembering that Nigeria is just a mere geographical expression. So, when they finish us, when they destroy us, they come back and talk with folk mouth. Please, can you talk to our youth? They must rise. They must stop this. We don't need to eat today and die tomorrow. Why are they behaving like this? The Nigerian youth. What is their problem? What is their mentality? They go to university learning nothing. They don't know what is politics. They don't know how to preserve their life. Please help me talk to them. Speaking to a brother who's doing with this campaign. I'm calling from Africa Sud. Africa Sud is South Africa. Biafrans, I love you. South Africa, yes. I still remember you are my blood.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. My brother, you raised a very good point. One of the things we have to really understand with our youth is that they've been brainwashed too. Many of them have been brainwashed. They've been made to believe in that fraud. That the only way you can do something is to follow the lead of the crooks in power. So everything that they're doing, you see, if you see, they say monkey see, monkey do. I bet no vex. I bet no vex.
That's true.
I don't mean I'm like that, but you know what I'm saying. What they see is what they are doing. And that is why programs that we're doing like this is very, very important. Because you see, what we are doing is the knowledge that we've acquired. Many of us have been abroad 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And we've seen that what our government have done is to actually shut down the learning capacity of our youth. They've shut them down. They've literally just made them, not be able to think logically. It's because the economy, the way everything is back to front. Everything in Nigeria is back to front. And that means that the people who are in there, they tell them, work hard, work hard. And they work hard is like you said, go and fish harder, go and do Okada harder. No, working hard is using your brain to actually solve your problem. It's not somebody, not going and begging, oh God help me find somebody who will feed me tomorrow. No, feed yourself by empowering yourself in your community to take control of your resources and improve your life. And that is what we are beginning to do. So I want to call on the youth, those of you supporting OB, you need to wake up. It's a trick. They are fooling every single one of you. The man that will win that election is going to be Atiku. I am telling you now. Atiku will win that election because what they will do is INEC will make him the man that got the most votes. And there is nothing you can do about it. But if we break away, if we decide to if we start working for self-determination now, then there's nothing, they can't stop us. They can't stop us. Nigeria is a fraud. And when you vote in that election, that fraud, the constitution will be on you for the next 4-8 years. It is time to break it up. We did not sign up to that constitution. It is a fraud. Break it up. Let me let the caller call it. Thank you. Hello? Is my did the caller come in just now? Or hello?
No, he's done.
Okay. So now, so what I want to just say, especially to our Nigerian, you're not lazy, but we need to start applying our knowledge. And they think, what have you been taught? I mean, many of them have not gone to school for a year now. They're doing Okada riding. Some girls are having to go and do crazy things to survive. The government has deliberately enslaved their minds, not only them physically, but men, they've enslaved them.
Let's get this color.
Yes.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Alozie.
Welcome. How are you?
And thank you, Ma'am Citizen Ewa. Thank you so much for your wonderful weekly program. We really appreciate it. And I hope that people are listening. Thank you so much, my brother.
Yes.
Thank you. Coming to the area that you people discussed concerning to our artifacts we stole. These people are criminals. And, the one that really annoys me a lot is that when you come to Igbo land in particular, these Yorubas have managed to maintain their Shango, their traditional God and every worship, and mix it up with the so-called foreign religion. And I'd like people to understand that. Do you know that Roman Catholics did not get any foothold in Yoruba land? Do you know that? Yoruba land, there is no Roman Catholic. Just check it out.
Yeah.
And then if you come to our own area, the Igbos, what pisses me off is that our people are the ones who are now destroying what is left over. The so-called all these mago preachers and prosperity preachers, they are the ones now going to destroy the remaining shrines and all these traditional worship places we have.
No, they have to stop. I beg.
I know, and the people are watching them do this. People are watching them do this, and they're not saying anything about it. Just to tell you how far stupid our people have become. And one thing I like to say is this: just like God gave us our different religions, the same way He allowed us to develop our way of worshiping our Creator. Nobody has ever seen God. Okay, the white man defined God in his own way. Even British people they are pagans. They were pagans, including the Romans. They were all pagans. This God they gave us was coined out from their paganism. Even the names that they gave us. And our people are so blind to see all those things. And today we still have people who are so-called so educated, but now it's being propelled by love of money because they're using religion to do what? To make money. That's why it's very difficult for them to change. And if you look at it, their greatest benefactor is the government that are impoverishing people. Anywhere religion tries, you look at people that are very poor. Poor people are the ones that go to church. You know, initially people's eyes are not open, but anybody who has emancipated himself knows that all these church, all these things are nonsense. They're fake. They're fake.
It's fraud. It's fraud.
And now, I would like to talk about I would like to talk about the phenomenon. You see, one thing we have to understand is this, and I'm glad you touched it. He said in the end they'll be very, very disappointed. You know, these users are following them. But one thing I want us to know is this. Everything that is happening is divinely mandated to happen. God, you see, with Mazi Nnamdi, it's a divine mission. And anybody who fails to see it that way will never understand or will be quarreling with the factor. To be honest with you, these are all designed by the Almighty God. Look at the death of Queen. Look at the coming out of Dr. Anya. These two events, look, there's nobody or any intellectual who has been able to propel us other than people that are in IPOB movement. More than this doctor has propelled the name Biafra to the whole world. And to be able to lay bare the atrocity that was committed against the Igbos during 1966-67. When I say Igbos, I include every other Biafra area because Igbos just become the majority. For using Igbo as a general name to include every Ijaw people, Riverine and everybody. So people shouldn't just misunderstand it as if Igbos are the only ones that suffer. No. Calabar people suffered, Midwestern people suffered massacre after massacre, and Calabar people suffered, a tremendous massacre from Nigerian army when they came dressed in Biafra uniform, burning villages and killing people, just to disguise as Biafrans are the ones who are doing it. So every aspect of Biafra land suffered pogrom. So the people should just, what I'm telling people is this: everything that is happening and the sequences by which this is happening, you will know that this is divinely mandated. Now, not only we, Africans, even Caribbeans are now seeking independence, from Britain, questioning the so-called Commonwealth. And so many things have been unearthed due to the conversations that are going on. I would like you to pay particular attention to Saturday program that comes up every 7 p.m. in Nigerian time by Jonathan and this wonderful lady, Mariam Heda. This is what we need, because after we liberate ourselves politically, we must have to liberate ourselves from this foreign religion that people have misconstrued, changed, imported all kinds of nonsense ideas into it. Because when you start delving into something you do not know, you act out of ignorance. You will be doing anything because it's not our God-given religion. I'm telling people I have gone back to the traditional way of life. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care. Okay, I don't care anymore, because you know what? Why is it that we have our language? Everybody have their language the same way. God gave us different ways of worshiping, and the way our forefathers saw God, the Almighty, because all these things about religion came out of human curiosity. People wanted to know who are we, where do we come from, who created us. That's how this idea of God came. And idea is God is nothing but the supreme being, because they believe that there is a supreme being out there. That's how this idea of God, the white man gave it God. We gave it our own Chukwu Kikabiama. Yoruba people have a name for God. So everybody have their own language. In their own way, they worship God until the white man came and destroyed us and continue to destroy us to today. So, my brother, until we go back, I am saying this seriously, until we Africans, take what is good from the religion. I'm not saying it because I consider the Bible a book of philosophy. That's what I tell people. It's only, and if we go and read different books of philosophy, why is it that every good scientific book is translated in other languages? But the only thing they translated to us is this Bible. They don't want to tell us to know anything about astrology, science, and all these things. But if you go to other countries, other developed countries, see that they study in their languages. All the science books are translated in their own languages. But Africa, the only thing they give Africa and make sure we get it is just their religion, and they translated the Bible and gave us. And to end my topic today, whoever told you that somebody who came to enslave you, refusing visa to come to his own country, and when you come, he might treat you, will ever give you something that is going to make you a better person? And then in the end, you go to heaven and live with him in heaven when he doesn't even want you to live in his own country. He discriminates against you. He calls you animal. And you think the white man will make you go to heaven or give you something that's going to make you go to heaven if there's heaven? These people don't believe in anything. During the coronation of Charles, did you see anything God there? Did you see the mention God? No. During the when Apollo, the first space rocket that they sent up in the moon, did they give it anything named God, which should be appropriate? No. They didn't. They call it Apollo, the god of the Greeks. All right, Apollo 1, Apollo 2. People should think when it comes to where they revere God, they don't revere God. They go their traditional way. Look at the coronation of Charles. Did you see anything there? Did you see them pray? They didn't even pray. All the ceremony they're doing with the burial of the queen, did you see anything go there? Did you see a preacher come there? These are criminals, man. They came and destroyed us and gave us this fake nonsense they gave us. They don't believe in Christianity. They don't believe in what they preach. Did you see? If this woman would go to grave without apologizing for everything she did, that tells you everything about this people. You know? And in fact, they told you everything about forgiveness and the rest of it. When someone slaps you on the right, to turn the other side. I would like Jonathan to do a program. I would like you to do a program on the faith.
You go wake up, chap. Not go my side.
I'm telling you,
I know
there are so many things they started in the Bible. Yeah, they tell you that the word of God, nobody should tamper with it. But they have revisions of the Bible, including St. James Version. Is it not tampering?
Yes.
And they tell you everything there shouldn't be tampered. But they've been changing the Bible. Yes. When somebody slaps you on this cheek, he turned the other cheek. Who are they?
No.
You see America turn the other cheek? America celebrated the death. America celebrated the death of Osama bin Laden.
That thunder they go here, they try that one with me. That thunder they go here.
America celebrated the death of Osama bin Laden. The whole of America lit up when this is that. And you're telling me that useless Africans are celebrating their killer. Somebody that destroyed them and took away everything they have. And they are celebrating it. Anybody celebrating the thing.
They pay me.
God bless you. Make a drop. God bless you, man. Dr. Alozie, God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God bless you, my brother. You my brother, he don't talk and finish. I don't know what you to add him. You don't talk and finish. Everything we're supposed to say, he don't say up. I don't feel argue because now so how we be from my side here they show picture where they carry that goat outside to say for coronation of their king. If not to say now for us now, they do voodoo. Now voodoo they do. Now you don't talk because God didn't make we honestly time don't knock when we wake up, my people. Time don't knock. Make all of us wake up. These people, they don't fool us long enough. Now our money then they take use on the oppressors inside our own land. Now when we go take wake up, all of them now when they talk about obi this, obi that, obedient, I beg, we know now use your brain. And the beg una, may una use una brain. All that, then they bobo una. I promise all of una say, come June 13, 2023, if una vote, una eye go clear. Una go say, chai, they don't do them again. And they know what they do. Make you wake up, time don't knock. Make everybody go outside Papa name. Now Biafra we won. Now Yoruba Nation we won. Now Middle Belt we won. Make everybody go outside Papa name. We don't want. We don't do.
Mazi, we would have had to make a I don't want this up here again in January. So I call you again. Biafra must come. I call you again. I don't want to stop your program. I told me to stop your program. Mazi Alozie. Good evening.
No, you don't do. We welcome it. We welcome your discussion.
I'm going to say, I know I'm going to talk in January. Not in January when our Biafra come. I think I'm going to get today. I'm going to say, I'm going to say, I want to say, land of the rising sun, we love and cherish. The Lord, oh land of our bravery rose. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our lives for.
Oh, network.
For we that rise is dead for all we hold it. Then let us die without a shred of ya.
Yes, sir. He said,
They
will.
Citizen
No.
Anyway, this is a guy you don't
Yes, my brother.
You don't know this. I'll tell you who he is.
No. Yes.
This is one of the, when you talk about Biafra,
Yes.
it is Arch-Biafrans. Biafra
Yes.
is in his body. It's all over him.
It's in his DNA.
You know when Wike was killing people in Ibocha,
Yes. Yes.
he stopped calling. We thought maybe he died. So he calls off and on. Then he lost his dad.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he lost his father, and he told me he won't be calling until he gets himself together. And I said, we wish you
Wow.
well and accept our condolence. So he just called to remind us that he is still there. So that's why he said January. He'll start calling.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, good message. No, that's it. Look, my condolences to his family, and we all condole with him, and we hope that time will ease things. So thank you very much for the call. What I want to really emphasize above all for all of us is this: look, whether you are watching this program, or whether you are at home, or whether you have people at home, you need to spread the message from Ipob, Rapture, and Citizen AY. You need to make sure, if you haven't got people who are subscribing to Ipob Rapture Media on YouTube, do so now. Likewise with Citizen AY, please subscribe to us as well. Subscribe to both platforms, because the message that we are putting across is to wake every one of us up. We need to be awake in the age of awareness that we're in now. We know what is going on. Even children now are becoming aware that Nigeria is a fraud, because they cannot eat 3 square meals a day. They don't go. Our kids are not going to school. The government is refusing to pay the lecturers, but they will pay themselves money for stealing, looting our oil. 700,000 barrels of oil a day goes missing in contract a day. And this has been going on since 2015. So please, those of you who are here, if you are talking about, I want to support Peter Obi, your one Nigeria is the one taking everything that belongs to you. It is time to break away from contract with one Nigeria. Obi is not the answer. Obi is not the answer. Self-determination is the answer. The only solution we have now is self-determination for Biafrans, self-determination for Yoruba land, self-determination for Middle Belt. We need to go our separate ways and build a nation where we, the people, we draw up our own constitution and we pass it into law collectively. This constitution is an imposition on you and I. None of our own, my ancestors never had a hand in writing this. Your ancestors never did. The only people that wrote this constitution were the Fulanis, and they imposed it on the rest of us. That is the plain fact. They paid some of our own Yoruba leaders, some of our own Igbo leaders, some of our own Middle Belt to join them. But those ones are sellout. That doesn't mean we, our people, voted for this. We didn't. This is a fraud. We have the opportunity to bring it down once and for all. Voting in any election would continue, means that you are agreeing for the fraud to continue to oppress you in your land. Here is the time. Now is the time to break it up. And the fraud is being put in place for the people who are supplying them with guns, the Colonial. We need to wake up. My people, the time has come. We must wake up. We can't tire now. Get out into the into our community. Tell everybody, defend yourself, protect your community, come together, defend your women, defend your farm, defend your farmers. This government is not paying. The government will pay Fulani terrorists money, hundreds and millions of naira. But our farmers in Biafra, our farmers in Yoruba and our farmers in Middle Belt, they don't pay the penny for the crops that's destroyed. They're not paid a penny. In Europe, if the crop fails for a farmer, do you know that they get subsidy? If their crop fails, they will get compensation. Everything they do. Why is it Nigeria is there to oppress us as indigenous people? It is time we woke up. Obi is not the answer. Tinubu is not the answer. And Atiku is the person to come and lock the key and throw it away if we let it happen. We need to break up contraction Nigeria. And we will never tire of saying this to you. And we are telling you, if you go and vote, the very next day, we will be waiting. Biafrans will be waiting. Ipob people will be waiting. Yoruba people will be waiting. We Yoruba agitators will be waiting to take you with open arms and say, join us in the struggle to break free from the contraction. Because that contraction is a fraud. It is designed to enslave us and impoverish us in our land. I told you that the man, the doctor, whatever they call him, from Netherlands, he said that they want to keep Africa underdeveloped, that we never have any infrastructure because they want to buy our resources dirt cheap. That is the reality of what we are faced. So don't think that all of this stuff are not connected. They are all connected. And they are given guns. The people who are using the guns, please, I want to ask you a question. Can the Fulanis who are using guns to kill you, coming to kill us in our community, can they make those guns? Can they make those guns? They can't. So where are they getting it from? Where are these people getting the guns from? Is it not from the same colonial masters, colonials, who are trying to ensure that we remain impoverished and they can take our resources? The time is now for us, for the coming generation. This is not for you and me. What we are doing now is not for you and me. It's for the coming generation, that they will have a better future in their own land, reach their true potential in their own land. Every doctor, every lawyer, every scientist, every school teacher, every farmer, everyone, you can reach your potential in your own land. In Biafra land, right there, you reach your potential. In Yoruba land, you reach your potential. And the government will provide infrastructure for you to reach your true potential. And they will back you. Your passport will mean something. Your passport now, your Nigerian passport now, as an Igbo man, to you is worthless. As a Yoruba man, it is worthless. As a Middle Beltan, it is worthless. It's only the Fulani that benefit from Nigerian passport. Let me say that again. You, as a Biafran, as a Biafran or Igbo man, if you want, however you want to call it, that passport, that Nigerian passport, is worthless to you because they don't come out to support you. As a Yoruba man, that passport is worthless to you. They do not come out. How many times have they killed Yorubas and Igbos and Middle Belts? Nothing happens. But if you touch one Fulani man anywhere in the world, you see how they come out. Oh, they come and protect them. That's a one Nigeria. But that should tell you that we're not one. So if you are coming out to say you want to support one Nigeria, your passport alone signifies to you that you're worthless. It is a passport to show them, oh yes, treat them like slaves. That's what your passport means. Your passport is saying that they can treat you like a slave in your own land. We need to wake up and break this thing up once and for all. Now is not the time for playing games. To support, I understand your enthusiasm and I understand why you so much believe that Obi is saying all the right things. That's what they do. They say the right things, but they never do the right thing. They say the right things, but they never do the right thing. Quote me. They say the right things. Yes, look, we will fix your road in 6 months. We will fix your schools. We will fix your bridges. When they come in, they will start making excuses. The Minister for Petroleum, Buhari, under his watch, 700,000 barrels a day goes missing and is not sacked. He's not sacked. And you're telling me to believe in one Nigeria. How? Those Obi. So, and what makes you think that if Obi comes in and 700,000 barrels a day are going missing, do you think Obi can sack anybody? Let me tell you something. The minute Obi comes in, I'm going to show you something. I want to show something whilst I'm on here now. Please, those of you who are with me, if you know my platform, let me go to citizenay.org. I want to bring something up, and I will bring up the Constitution. I want to read a section within the Constitution for you to make you understand this is what he will read. And the minute he reads this, it is game over if you vote for him. Now, let me go to the fraudulent 1999 Constitution. I want to show you something, if I can find it. Oh, I can't find is it here? 1 second. There is a section that he reads, that he will read for you, that he will come up with. And in that section, he will talk about, I swear to protect the Constitution of Nigeria. The minute he does that, he cannot change anything. He cannot change anything. I want you to really understand this point. The minute he takes that oath and he says, I swear to protect the Constitution of Nigeria, the indivisibility, all of that nonsense, that is game over. You are back to square one. Then what? So what happens then? I want you to ask yourself this question. Everybody, those of you who talk in supporting Obi, I want you to ask yourself that question. What happens the day after the election when they don't swear him in? And he swears, I swear on my allegiance to the Constitution, to protect the Constitution, the very thing that you need to bring down. That is the reality we're trying to make you wake up to and understand and confront, and don't allow these people to fool you. This is a trick. This is a fraud. This is daylight robbery. And we are trying to wake you up so that you do not fall for that trick, because it is pure fraud. It is pure fraud from top to bottom. I just wish I could find that thing now. I have a picture. Okay, let's go back here. Maybe I'll see it here. Okay, got it. Now, I want to show you something. It will come up in a minute. I'm hoping it will come up. I'm going to read it as I'm talking to you live now. Good. Here we go. Now, I want you to read here. There is a section here. So, it says here, there shall be Nigeria a constitution which shall be set out and scheduled to this decree. The constitution, let me see. This decree may be cited as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Promulgation Decree 1999. And then there's one more thing. I saw it somewhere. When they are going to swear in the president, he will always say, I swear to the allegiance to the Constitution of Nigeria and the Constitution. And I will do everything to protect the Constitution of Nigeria. That is what he will say on the day he wins, if he was by miracle, and that is by hitting the big if, if he wins. If he comes, that's even if he wins, he has to swear by that Constitution. You see? And I'm telling you all, wake up and understand that will not change. Do you know that on the day that Obasanjo was sworn in after the 1999 Constitution, can you hear me? Or somebody said no sound. Hold on. Let me just check. Somebody said they can't hear me. Are you sure you can't hear me? I'm sure you. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Yes, you can.
We're hearing you here.
Can you hear me? You can hear me. You can hear me now. Yes. Okay. So I'm just checking it out. So on the day of the elections, as soon as he says, I, Peter Obi, swear by the Nigerian Constitution, I will uphold the 1990 Constitution as written by 1999, and I will not change anything in it. That is what you need to really be aware of. And as soon as he says that, it is game over. It is game over. And they say the Constitution set out the schedule to this decree shall come into force May 29th of May 1999. And we have to put a stop to that fraudulent Constitution. If he swears on oath with that same Constitution, whatever you are hoping for, good roads, water, light, schools, bridges, healthcare, safety, security, you will get nothing. You will get zero. They will be making excuses. And Peter Obi will start saying, my people, I really want to do this, but I can't change it. Then they will start saying to you to go to the assembly to make the changes. And they run the assembly. The Fulanis have read, look, you can never win anything with that. We need to break it up. Youth of today, please, I am talking to you. Wake up. Wake up. This is not a joke.
Citizen Airway, we'll end it here. On Monday, we will continue with this topic.
Yes,
it has
we
not
will.
ended. This is the core of what is happening, and our people are not they are not aware of what they are dealing with. And it is our job, and that is what we are doing. You know, when you come here, I give you a lot of time because they listen to me every day. So there are things
and I appreciate.
Yeah, there are things you bring in, and it will go through. That if I bring it in, they are used to listening to me. So for those of them that have not been listening, at least we are new to them, and that will keep them out. But next week, we will actually descend on this constitution and referendum. So that our people we will go in depth of this constitution fraud. You know, we will look at it in depth of the whole issue. Okay, so thank you for coming, and please take care of your health, and we'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, will do. Thank you very much. I greet my brothers, my Biafra brothers, and Yoruba brothers. Yoruba Nation now, Biafra Nation now, free Nnamdi Kanu, and watch out. We will be having a protest on the 17th of October in the UK here, 1 million man, and also watch out for the Yoruba Nation protest that will coming out soon. Watch out for that. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now. Bye, my brother. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. This will be the end of today's program, and I thank all of you that listened and participated. We need to educate our people. We need to. If we keep doing things as usual, we will be losing. It's no longer what we think it is, and the decoy they are bringing, we will expose those things and take them very seriously. They are not joking. They are not joking. So they'll do everything in their power to suppress us, and that's what they're doing. That constitution is a fraud. We did not make that constitution, but we are going to start focusing on that and let the people know. So we'll be talking about the constitution and the referendum and the release of Ali Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Enough is enough. For those of you that are watching the Fulanis defile children, that's what you'll be getting once you bring them in. That's what they'll be doing. And where are the parents of these children? Where are they? Where are the parents of these children that are being defiled by the Fulanis? In your own home. And you say it's normal. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Those that are responsible should look into it. So I think something is wrong. Something is wrong. Those that are responsible should look into it. So I think something is wrong. Something is wrong. Those that are responsible should look into it. So I thank.
Get it online on your mobile. This is IPOB Community Radio, Radio Biafra, the first and the last.
So we have a very, very, very special guest with us today, Dr. Uju Anya. And she is a professor at Carnegie Mellon University in applied linguistics.
Yeah.
And so welcome. So I had two more questions and I want to open it up. Has this experience changed the way, because like you said, you kind of go in, you use Twitter, you kind of almost like prepare, like you said, to teach when you go in there. Has this experience changed the way you're looking at engaging in social media, or do you intend to continue to engage in the way you have?
So even in this, my most intense moment on social media, fundamentally, more than I am anything else in this world, more than I am a mother, more than I am a researcher, more than I am a sister, a community member, I am a teacher. And if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to teach.
Right.
And even in that very intense moment of profound pain and my outburst, my emotional outburst of deep, deep pain, I was teaching. I followed up explaining that there was a genocide against the Biafra people.
Right.
Right. The who were trying, the Igbo people who were trying to form an independent nation of Biafra. They wanted to be separate from the country that the British Empire had imposed on us, which was this country of Nigeria, where they kind of took a bunch of independent nations who don't have anything to do with each other, don't even speak each other's language, don't relate. Many of them were even enemies and warring at the time, smushed them all together and drew these arbitrary lines around them and called them countries and named those countries.
Right.
And then said, now y'all get along and do a country for us and be a union for us. And then go through, contentious, bloody independence processes that never really yield any real independence. You're still part of a Commonwealth afterwards.
True.
And you have the eternal meddling in your affairs and the eternal extraction of your resources and the eternal fomenting of divisiveness and infighting in order to be able to control you. This is what an oppressor does, a colonizer does. These are tactics and strategies of dominance.
Right.
We were subjected to that as a larger unit of Nigeria. And then when the Igbo people said, we want our own thing, let's go and do that. Well, it so happened to be that the territory that this new country of Biafra was going to be in included very, very rich oil reserves. And the British were not going to let go of that.
Wow.
And the people that they had put in power, their puppet Nigerian governments weren't going to do that either because they needed it for the Nigerian project.
Right.
And Britain needed it for its own interests and uses. So Great Britain got directly involved in this civil war and in the war for independence and decided that they would do everything to make sure that Biafra did not go.
Wow.
And this everything meant directly funding genocide of the people of Biafra. This is what happened. This is the historical record. I'm not saying anything that's in doubt or in question, right?
Yeah.
Even when it was happening during this period of 1967 to 1970, the BBC themselves were producing documentaries decrying it, covering all the protests that were happening in Great Britain.
This is recent.
Yeah, this is very recent. My sister, for example, is turning 60 this month. And my sister was alive at that time. She was like 5, 6.
Right.
My other brother was alive at the time. And my second brother was in my mother's belly. She was pregnant during this time, running from village to village to escape the bombs that they were throwing at villagers. So when we tell you that 3 million people, some people have said up to 5 million, 6 million, or some people quote low. So the sort of average agreed upon number that you really cannot contest is about 3 million. When you think of a Holocaust,
right,
this is a Holocaust.
Absolutely.
Now, the Holocaust that we're most familiar with is the most famous one against the Jewish people.
Yes.
Where they, 6 million of them were massacred.
Absolutely.
So at the most sort of conservative estimation, they did half of us, half that number. Civilians, these are non-combatants, and more than 1 million children alone starved.
Wow.
The British paid for that. And Queen Elizabeth II was ruler. She was monarch at that time. This was the government that she was supervising. Now, I don't buy this notion that she was just a statue, if you will.
Ask you that question,
or a decorative plant,
right.
Or some kind of I don't know, tchotchke sitting on the shelf.
Right.
This was a ruler. This was someone, the very crown that she had on her head, signifying the fact that she's a monarch, was made from plunder.
Right.
Diamonds, blood diamonds.
Absolutely.
So the throne that she's sitting on is a throne of blood. So you cannot say that she was just this little old lady or this figurehead that really had nothing to do with anything, and it was just the British government that were making their deals and, governing however they would, without relating it directly to her, because she directly benefited her very position as a monarch, the palace that she lived in, the opulence, the obscene levels of wealth that she enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Were all paid for by our blood. And I don't say this figuratively. Right. And I don't say this as something that, this long remote past, let's say, of human enslavement, which on my mother's side, she's from Trinidad, my ancestors over there were enslaved by the British. I'm talking about recent living memory of people still alive today. Her money, her government funded our slaughter. And people expected me to be calm or to be, I don't know what they expected.
Right.
When the person who literally paid money for bombs and guns and military supplies to come and massacre your people is dying. Right. You're not supposed to dance. What's the reaction to that?
I remember when we found out that Osama bin Laden was killed, and Americans celebrated, right? Because they held him responsible for 9/11, which just passed, and that terror that occurred, and those 3,000 or so people that died.
Yeah.
And it's like, but when it's our terror, when it's our pain, when it's our loss as Black and brown people, and we, particularly when we express it in a way that challenges, white supremacy, the white supremacy dominant narrative, and this, kind of almost like Disneying idea that people had of a queen, then all of a sudden it's like we're always told to be civil, to be calm, to be peaceful as Black and brown people. And so, but when it's somebody that you feel harmed America, you can dance, you can celebrate, you can take out your flags, and that's held up. You can have lynchings were celebratory things in the history of the United States of America, where they would have a parade and party and
take children.
Question before we close out, because I saw in the wake of Queen Elizabeth's passing and this conversation around colonialism, a call for reparations, right? I think Jamaicans were saying, like, instead of having more, like, we need reparations.
Absolutely.
You spoke, you taught us about this very recent history around Biafra. Is there a movement or calls for some type of reparation? Because, we've seen reparations happen with the Holocaust of Jewish people. Absolutely. Deservedly so. You mentioned, I'm part of the National African Americans Reparation Commission that was started by Dr. Ron Daniels.
Absolutely. First of all, the Queen never once apologized. She never once opened her mouth to say sorry. Everybody, the history records know what happened and what was done in her name and for her crown. Not just to the people of Biafra, but you talked about the Kenyans, the Indians, the indigenous people, right? Native Americans. So it's just never once have they taken responsibility and just said sorry. So what I am advocating for, and what a lot of people are advocating for, number one is to just recognize what you did and say sorry. And then we can move on to conversations about what does reparations look like. It could look like leaving the oil alone.
Right.
It could look like, actual payments and repayments, of the compensating the 3 million lives that were lost.
Right.
I don't know. We haven't even gotten that far yet because we can't even get them to admit the shit they did.
Wow. Man.
And how does that feel as a language professor to know? It's so, it could all be so simple.
Yeah.
And then just that refusal.
They continue to dehumanize us. That's what it feels like. We are not even human enough to them to sit down with them as equals and say, this is what you did to us. And they recognize it and say, yes, this is what we did. And we're sorry. Even though it's open record, the fact that they never open their mouth and sit down with us and say it shows that they continue to view us as less than and undeserving of the common acknowledgement of our humanity and our dignity to say, yes, we harmed you and we're sorry.
Powerful, a powerful way to end,
and that's why we call it This Week in White Supremacy.
Absolutely,
yes. This is a perfect synopsis of the theme of this show.
And the article we're going to share as our white pages is a recent article Dr. Anya just wrote.